everyone, my name is Anya Anti. I'm a fine art conceptual photographer and storytelling photo artist. And in this mini 4-video series, I'm going to show you how to plan, conduct, and finalize a fine art conceptual photo shoot from start to finish and create a new artwork. In the previous video, we talked about all things pre-production, where to find inspiration, storytelling tools, how to plan a shoot, and how to conduct research. And today I'll be talking about production. I'll show you the behind the scenes from shooting my concept on location, creating balloon installation and setting the scene, share some general tips on how to work with a model, talk about my go-to camera settings and lighting equipment. And today it's the shoot day. We're here at the FD studio in New York. I will be using this corner of the studio room. It has a black tile wall and a vintage bathtub, which is perfect for today's setup and exactly what I need. Today I've brought some fun props with me. Here we have clear and white balloons, an electric pump, construction paper, mini sailboat figurine, tulle white skirt, and some additional tools such as scissors, tape, balloon strips, and pins. We're here early and the model hasn't arrived yet. And while we're waiting for her, I'm going to start building the balloon bubble bath installation. First, I decided to start with making an origami paper boat. I used regular construction paper and I chose bright orange color. The choice of color wasn't random. I wanted the paper boat to pop and stand out against the dark background of the tile wall and also match with the red color of my model's hair. The key to a successful photo shoot is preparation. However, in my experience, things won't always go as planned, so I try to stay calm and be ready for surprises. I recommend always pack backups, extra batteries, memory cards, and lenses, and also outfit options, tools such as scissors, tape, and pins, and props, just in case something goes wrong. Even with a solid plan, some ideas might not work the way you imagined. And that's okay. Be flexible, get creative, and try new things. Sometimes the best shots come from improvising. After making paper boat, I started working on the balloon bubble bath setup. First step was to blow up the balloons. I chose white and clear balloons to mimic soap foam and to add a bit of color variation. But in reality, the difference was barely noticeable. Clear balloons weren't transparent enough and white balloons weren't bright enough. I was confused, but then I realized that there were two types of white balloons. One was more pearl and a bit see-through, and the other one was more solid. And I purchased the wrong ones. I was a bit disappointed, but it's not a big deal. I can fix the color in Photoshop later. Another thing I didn't expect was how long the whole process would take. I thought it would be quick since I had the electric pump, and yes, blowing them up was fast. But it turned out that tying them up and attaching each balloon end to the tiny little holes of the balloon tape took forever. In total, it took us almost 1.5 hours. That's a lot of paid studio time wasted. So note to myself, for future balloon setups, blow them up ahead of time and just bring them ready to go. So blowing up balloons took a little bit longer than I thought, but it's okay, we're finally done and our lovely model is finally here ready to shoot. We have a few props and outfit options, and here's our beautiful bubble bath installation ready to go. Today I'm shooting with my 50mm 1.8 lens. I always shoot in manual mode because it gives me much more control, and I shoot with wide open aperture of f2 right now. I keep my ISO as low as possible, 100 right now, and my shutter speed is 1/200 of a second. I played with two props, the paper boat and mini sailboat. I wasn't sure which one would work better with the final look, so I decided to shoot with both and choose during the selection and editing process. I didn't get a chance to experiment with outfits as much as I wanted since I was a bit stressed and rushed after spending so much time on the balloons. I kind of regret not trying the tutu skirt as a top. I think it could have looked great. But who knows, maybe I add something similar in post. For some special effect and an extra touch of magic, I used a handheld haze machine with bubbles attachment. It was super fun to use and play around. The bubbles were filled with smoke, and when they popped, they released little puffs clouds. It created such a dreamy and whimsical effect. However, the room quickly filled up with haze and I didn't like the effect, so I had to be careful not to overdo it. Communication with the model. When working with the model, clear communication is key. Before the shoot, I always chat with the model to help us both feel comfortable. My style doesn't need modeling experience. I guide my models with simple poses and focus more on the setup than the person. Most of the time, the model is just one part of the whole scene. I like to share mood boards and sketches ahead of time so they know the direction and my vision. Keep things simple, be polite, and stay open to their ideas. It's a team effort. Taking care of your models is just as important as directing them. The model's comfort and safety should always come first. If you're shooting in cold, wet, or uncomfortable places, bring things like towels, warm clothes, and hot drinks to keep them comfortable. I recently purchased a heated vest, and I always bring it with me when I shoot in cold weather. For the setup, I placed a cushion in the bathtub to make it more comfortable for the model so she wouldn't have to sit directly on the hard surface. Otherwise, it was good room temperature in the studio. Posing tips. In my experience, the best poses are the ones that feel natural and comfortable. When your model is relaxed, they'll look more genuine and realistic in the photo. Keep poses simple. Don't force anything complicated or awkward. Don't be shy about saying hold that pose if something is working. If you're unsure about what pose to use, ask your model to move around a bit. You might find something that works better naturally. Watch the model's hair for flyaways and clothes for wrinkles to make sure nothing looks off or messy and fix them as needed. If you want to touch them and fix something, it's always a good idea to ask permission and be respectful of their boundaries and personal space. Lighting. I usually prefer shooting with natural light. I avoid harsh midday sun and try to shoot during sunset, in the shade, or on overcast days for a more diffused effect. When I need to, I use a silver reflector, and it is my go-to tool I always bring on the shoot. If natural light isn't enough or the concept calls for a special effect, I use artificial lighting. I prefer working with continuous light and avoid flashers and strobes. Here in the studio we have large windows with plenty of natural light, so I didn't use any additional lighting gear. However, I still brought a reflector and a continuous light just in case it would be too dark. Camera settings. I always shoot in manual mode because it gives me full control and I keep my aperture wide open, usually between 1.4 and 2.8 to get that blurry background and a nice shallow depth of field. I keep ISO low and adjust shutter speed for the right exposure. I just make sure my shutter speed is fast enough to avoid motion blur. I also always shoot in RAW format. RAW files, unlike compressed JPEGs, keep all the original image data and preserve details. So it gives you so much more flexibility in editing without losing quality. Yes, they're bigger and take more time to edit, but if you want the best quality results, it's totally worth it. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video where I'm going to talk about post-production and editing.